Right, guys, so this podcast, absolute banger. We've got Saint on today, and this podcast is going to be your insight into the underground world of reselling. Okay, guys, we're back for episode 4 of the Edge podcast, and this is, I'm being genuinely serious, this is the one that I've been the most excited for. I've had a conversation with Saint for the past maybe hour or so before filming this, and like the insight into the underworld of the sneaker game that this guy can provide is invaluable, and I hope everyone's going to learn a lot, and like this is going to be like, yeah, a very, very unique and one-off podcast that we're very lucky to have you on and provided.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time. So yeah, let's get it started. So let's go into your background first. What do you do?
Oh, that's a mad question.
Right, so let's say educational. What are you doing?
Educational. I study in university computational mathematics. Let that sink in. Let's just
Anyone who's watching, oh my god, that's a heavy degree. Like, so you're smart.
Yeah.
So what uni are you at?
I'm at Wolverhampton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Oh, it's all right. Like you have to because I'm paying for my uni fees, like tuition. I'm paying for everything. After the reselling, you have to enjoy it. It's like you're spending good money on there. You have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Take note of that. This guy is not getting your student loans. He's not doing your normal route. This is all paid off his own back from reselling. And again, it's showing exactly what you can do.
Yeah, you have to invest in yourself. You really do. Like long term, people think, 27K, like, we're going to pay that back over time. When I'm 60, the debt gets what? Like, come on, man. Like, let's think realistic. You have to like invest in yourself when do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So why have you gone that way? So a bit of context before, like, no one else is obviously going to know this yet.
Yeah.
But like, we know already that you're doing very well for yourself. Mm-hmm. Why are you taking that route?
You know what? Let me just say, it's literally because I can. It's genuinely because I can. Like, but I think about the bigger picture. I'm not going step by step in that way. Obviously, you have to take everything step by step, but you just have to look at the bigger picture. And that is the bigger picture that I don't want to be like, I'm investing in myself early on. So when I'm older, I don't want to be seeing 40 quid leave my account every month. Like, I'm like, do you know what I mean?
You don't want to think about it, do you?
Yeah, you don't want to think about it. You just want to like, and you know what? It's like, that's a big thing to say. Like imagine putting that in your CV. Like, I've paid for my uni off my own back.
And how many students are doing that? Probably it's a very small minority.
I'm in lecture, and I don't know. I'm not saying it's like an ego boost or anything, but like I'm in lecture, and like the conversation just comes up and stuff like, we'd be like, your student loan must have like just come in this month. Is that why you? Because I'll come in lecture with like 20 bags of like Foot Locker shoes or whatever after I just looped Foot Locker, and I'll come in lecture 15 minutes late after just like getting 15 pairs from the local Foot Locker, and the lecturer will be like, Saint, why have you as the monthly student fund come in, why are you spending so much money? I'm like, yeah, sir, I actually pay for uni, so, and everyone's in there just like,
do you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what's funny? The exact same thing happened to me. So I went to a meeting with one of my lecturers. Size had just opened in York. Yeah. And like it was new store, so they had a decent amount of stock. Yeah. Like they had a lot of new releases, like hot releases. Yeah. I walked in with bags and bags. They were like, what are you doing? They were like, this is so weird. I was like, I sell trainers. They couldn't get it. They didn't get it. They were like, you actually like make money from doing this? Like their mind was baffled that we were doing this. Like, and it's absolutely brilliant. And then again, like getting that on your CV is absolutely stupid.
It's a mad thing to have. Like, it's not. You don't see that every day. Like, and you just have to be different. Like, in life in general, you can't just be like another figure. Like, you just have to be different.
And this is it. Like, you've got to think now. Let's say you wanted to go the corporate route, and this is what happened with me, where I was going to like trying to get internships at the top funds and stuff like that in the finance world, and I was going against people that were way better educated than me. Mm-hmm. However, like I got hired for like my job on the basis of like, you're doing like, what are you doing? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, they were like, you're selling trainers, like you're making how much? Like, it's different and it's interesting. People like that are in like these top positions, they respect it. They're like, Jesus Christ, like this guy's actually doing something. And it's like, you can be as well educated, you can have the most pristine CV, but if you're just another cog in the wheel if you've just got a degree. Like, you've got to be doing something else. And like, that's what you're doing to a T. Like, what you've done, and like what I can't wait to share, like what you've done sets you apart from the crowd by like miles and miles and miles.
It's actually quite intimidating though. Like, you're going into an interview, you're telling them all this stuff. Like, the interviewers, they haven't done that. Like, it's mad interview. I don't know, but like going into corporate is just like, I wouldn't do that. But two is like, why would I go? Like, when I'm genuinely making probably more than your boss.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
do you know what I mean? It's quite intimidating. Like,
of course.
But like, you just get set apart from the others, definitely.
And that's it. So do you think that you'll ever see yourself in a corporate job, 9 to 5? Like, you're obviously doing a very, very good degree. It's gonna be like, that's gonna open so many doors for you. Do you think you'll actually use it for the purpose that, in terms of getting a job, or do you see yourself doing something different?
I think it's definitely good to have for traditional reasons, like having a degree. Like, you don't always have to use a degree, like, but just having it is just
it's your
it's an accomplishment.
Yeah, and as well, it's your way in.
Yeah.
Like, for me, if everything goes wrong, like, I God hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I hope I don't have to return. But however, I've got that under my belt.
Yeah, that's what my mom says. Yeah. It's the
like,
backup.
Yeah,
it's
the
safety
backup.
net.
Yeah, that's it. It's your safety net. And like, it's a bit of a no-brainer when the opportunity in front of you. You've, like, for you as well, like, you can pay for it yourself.
Yeah.
You know that it's there. It's like, why not do it whilst you're young, tick it off, and then move on to the next thing. So let's start to delve into what you actually do.
What I do is that, well, right now, I am a in-store reseller.
Okay.
That has a very, very, very outreaching network in store with many managers, many area managers, all of that.
So, for context, you showed me your contact list before.
My phone book.
So we will pull this up. It's obviously going to be blurred out for reasons, because we don't want to jeopardize his network. Yeah. But this guy's like network and phone book is ridiculous. Like, if any pair of trainers, like, I bet you, like, anything that's releasing anywhere in the UK, you could probably pattern it like that. Like, it's just like, it's
phone call,
it's not a question.
Phone call,
And so for you to get to that point, how did you get there? Because it's so impressive. Like for me, I took the online route. With trainers, I built relationships with sellers. I didn't have to do it with in-store managers. You've took the other route. You've gone in-store and you've built that network with actual employees. How did you get started and why?
Why? Because it's just the easiest way in. Like, genuinely, online, you have to have assets. You have to have a computer, internet, knowledge of using a computer, all that. Like, in-store is like the bare, like, basics. It's the bare bone. Like, and my story is actually quite a long story, actually. Like, so it started when I was like, my network generally started when I was like 15, and I had a girlfriend that actually was like 16, and she started working in JD. And so, like, she'd give me like insights on like drops, what's in the back, this, that, this shoe. Why is everyone going crazy about this? So it was like, it's a valuable shoe. Then I'd be
on that point. Sorry to stop you.
Yeah.
I was the exact same.
Yeah.
My girlfriend at the time messaged me, was like, I want a pair of Yeezys.
Yeah.
It was the Parrot Blacks. So I sat in the gym, like in the queue, and she was like, I want a size like 4.5, whatever it was. Couldn't get it. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even check. I just bought my own size, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, I can make so much money off this.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's like, for me, it was like, oh my God, this has opened a world. Like, stupid, like, it changed my life.
Yeah,
like,
that job was massive.
That conversation of a girl wanting a pair of trainers led to, like, us being sat here. And that's what I love. Like, so let's go back to you.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So the girlfriend, JD worker, I'm popping in JD every single time there's a new release. She has like how JD used to work before is that they had stock, they would have the stock in for the release. Let's say something's releasing in June, or something's releasing in July, they'll have stock in June, like way before. So the staff members would be like gassing about it. Oh my God, this new shoe just dropped. This dunk, that, this Jordan, this, that. And she'd be telling me like, why is everyone going crazy about this? And I'll just like be there. She would send me a picture of it. I'll check like StockX, I'll check market. I'll go to like people like way bigger than me, ask them how much is this shoe going for? And they'll be like, oh yeah, it's going for this much, which is like £50 above like retail. And I'll just go there with like a bunch of boys and we'll just clear out stores. And then you start making your face familiar. Like then like one time you're going early mornings queuing up. And early morning is literally when all the managers go in, like the area managers, the and the VPs, which is like visual protection, profit protection, stuff like that. All these like different sorts of managers, like the big people, they'll see your face every day. They get, that's the guy that he's a grafter, he's always here, always here. And then they realize that actually, if they need a shoe, like, and like, pretty much like a Yeezy 350 because JDs, they don't get too much of it. They'll come to me, they'll be like, oh Saint, can you get me this shoe? I need it this at this period of time or whatnot. So I'll just be like, all right, I can get you this for like £100 above retail. I'll be like, no. They'll be like, no, I want this for retail. And like, imagine like someone asking you for like a pack, like, let me put this in concept. Like back in the day, it used to be like Yeezys. They'll be like zebras or like breads. You're asking me for breads for retail. Like it's out of order, innit? It's out of order. But like,
were you in the game with like the original bread release?
No, this was the re-release December 2019, something like that.
Yeah. So the original bread release, I was with Sam, employee. What we did was, and a few of my other friends, we pulled up a car. Yeah. We all camped out outside of Size in Manchester. And then, like, I was going out, I texted my girlfriend and said, like, send all of your uni mates to me right now and I'll pay them 200 quid cash for this pair. Like, just to check out, because I knew I was making like 350 on a pair, something like that. And I was like, I will give them 200 just so I can make that 150. Yeah. So then, like, we were going to builders. We literally had homeless people. Yeah. Like, I said, like, I was going to him, I was like, bro, like, take my card, go and get that pair, and you'll make the quickest like 200 quid of your life. Yeah. Like, and like those guys, like that's where like the hustle starts. Like it's like the hustle, pulling everyone in. It was like fantastic. Like we were walking away with pairs and pairs of trainers, and like everyone in the general public was like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, and like some people we walked to was like, excuse me, mate, I'll give you 200 quid. Can you go in that store and just get that pair for me? And he's like, no, it sounds dodgy, this.
Yeah. Like, it's funny you actually said that because like, you said about calling your mates down. Like what I started from is like actual looping. Like you go cop the first pair, you run to the nearest ATM, take out 200 quid, 250 quid, whatever the limit was, and you just run back. The most random people, excuse me, mate, could you do me a quick favor and just go get in that store and just grab me a pair? And like, it's like, you have to really word it right. It's literally like, it's really like, it sounds so like, tiny, but wording your request is actually such a big part of it.
That's it. Like, so we like, there was like a building site next to us, and like some guys are like, nah, you guys are like dodgy. They're like, no, like money's not this easy. And I was like, please just go in the shop for me.
Someone once asked me, he was like, is that what you do when you're buying the pairs and you're returning fakes back out? It's like,
people actually do that though. Yeah, I've seen that. Like, it's actually insane. Like,
it's crazy.
Everyone's got a hustle.
Yeah, so you have to just tell them like, can you just go in the store, grab me this pair of shoes? It's basically one per person. I've already got mine. Yeah. There's little things you have to say, and they're like, oh yeah, no worries, I'll just go grab it for you. So it's like just random people. Let me say like literally parents, kids, like anyone. random people go in the store, absolutely looping it, and that's how you get more pairs. Earlier on, it was like easy, like 2 per person. But like nowadays, like it's even impossible. Even with the crepe limits and stuff, like you have to buy crepe after every shoe. It's crazy.
So in terms of like going from that, did you like, you started to see like in-store success. You was screwing all your pairs. Did you ever go online or not?
Online started later. Like, when did online start? Like, I'd say like later last year. Early last year, sorry. It was just like, I mean, you get the network, then you just get a bit bored, like, of going in store every day. It gets very tiring. Like, it's quite expensive. Like, But then that's when I had to look at the bigger picture. Like, these people are sitting at home. I was like thinking, like, who are these people sitting at home making absolute thousands? Like, I'm seeing people come in store. These are the OG. If you're like an in-store chef, like, you know this trick. You'd come in store after Nike, you finish buying you sneakers, you come in store with like TeamViewer on your phone, and you buy Cyber. That's like the real OGs.
That's what I was doing. Like, everyone had like access, like you could, like TeamViewer or something like that onto a server, and you were running your bot whilst you were in the queue, for traders. Like, it was absolutely stupid.
The real grafters, man.
And so I think it'd be interesting as well, like, to share a bit of an insight onto, so like when I started in the game, like, so when did you start?
I started like
what was your first pair that you got?
My first pair I sold was 10 years ago. It was a Supra sneaker.
Yep.
This is when Supra was popping off, like Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, different colorways coming out. And I bought it off my brother and flipped it in a car boot sale for like 30, 40 quid profit.
And just for everyone watching, you're how old?
I'm 18.
Okay.
Just 18.
So when he started, you were how old?
I was 8 years old.
There you go.
10 years. 10 years of selling. Yeah. It's been a journey, honestly.
And it's brilliant. And like, for me, I was always the online route. I didn't take the path that you did.
Yeah.
So for us, like, I don't think a lot of people, like, especially people that are coming into the game now, like, they maybe don't know how easy it was. Like, so Adidas used to launch Yeezys via a splash page, essentially a queue. Everyone would jump in the queue and you'd wait for your turn. So the way I secured my first pair, then Parrot Blacks, was just in the queue. I just got through and I was lucky. But then after that, I found, so when I secured that and I was like, Jesus Christ, I can make so much money. I was hooked and I was looking through Twitter and I was like, how on earth do I take this further? And then I found a group called One Stop Cop, and they were essentially one of pretty much the OG cut group. It was them and Yeezy Mafia. They used to have beef on Twitter all the time. Like, now Yeezy Mafia is like the fucking the name.
Yeah, the name.
Like, they got millions of followers, and the guy from One Stop Cop who owned that is now, like, he left it after like maybe a year or so. He was becoming a doctor, and he was making so much money at a young age. Like, and he like. Something that, like, I don't think that, like, right, I'm going to say this now.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest cut groups in the UK, every single founder of those cut groups was in One Stop Cop. So that guy probably, and I do want to reach out to him and, like, because he probably doesn't realize the impact that he's had.
Yeah.
He has, like, generated wealth across the world that he's never even thought of, because, like Aftermarket or our competitors, like, when we make money for people, it's all because of him.
Yeah.
Like, and it's insane what that guy did. So we was with One Stop Cop, and it was, at the start, it was so easy. So we had basically like just a bypass.
Yeah.
So we'd inject, so basically you go onto a website, like right click or whatever it is, inspect element. You then, he'd be like, right, inject this piece of code into this, like, I don't know what it is, like, just inject this code here.
Yeah.
Okay. We'd inject it, queue would disappear, we'd be straight through. So we were like, with stuff like Yeezys, like when they were selling for like serious money, like the first one I did really well on was Belugas, the first shop of Belugas.
Yeah.
And I also did all right on the chocolate 750s. And like those releases, like that was when it like opened up a world to like what reselling could do. And we were just bypassing. All my friends were like, what's going on? How are you getting all these pairs? Like, and that's when I was like, there's a bigger picture here.
Yeah.
We can do something here. And then it moved to a bit of history on like the sneaker reselling, like sneaker Twitter game. So we had it was pretty private, pretty low key. And then I got a guy who used to literally take all the pairs on Nike in the US. He was called what's he called? I think he's like Night Destroyer or something like that.
Yeah.
So he basically open sourced an extension that would do what we were doing. So all the cut group owners were really mad, but the method that we used was still pretty centralized to sneaker Twitter. So the general public still didn't know.
Yeah.
But like then everyone on sneaker Twitter was like had their hands on this information. So then that's when it started to decrease. But we still did okay with it. And it was literally like, you opened up like a Chrome extension, and Soul or Nitro, whatever it's called, like he'd built this page, and it was literally like add to cart, like type in the PID of the product, and then hit the add to cart button of the size you want with the size code. We did that, and it was just like add to cart, and it was like a money machine. It was like a cash printer. And for us, it was like at a young age, it was like mind blowing that was possible. And then obviously Adidas then started to switch to confirmed. We touched on this before the podcast where like, so Adidas went to confirmed, and then they released like a method where it basically said select the image and so it was basically like just sort of like capture. It was like select the image, then you've got the access to our trainers, but the quickest people to select the right image would get prioritized. But we would get notified of what the image was, like 30 minutes before, an hour before, whatever it was. So we would, and you had to be in London for this to work. So I was up at York in uni. I'd get all my flatmates. I'd tell them, right, I'm giving you 100 quid for this. Give me your phone for 10 minutes. Sit on your phone. I'd spoof the location to make it look like they were in London. So the Adidas app thought they were in London. We do that. And then I'd tell them, right, this is the image that's going to pop up. As soon as it comes up, hit it. Like, you don't even have to think about it. It's just like a natural instinct. Like, that's what we wanted. That's what I wanted people to be doing. Yeah. And we do that, and then I'd send them all down to London, or I sent my brother and my family down one time to pick up like semi-frozen yellows. That was a super limited release, and we cleaned up, like, just from people like this little exploit. And like, it was at the time it was silly because Adidas had put like measures in place to try and stop it, but there's always going to be a way around it. And like, I feel like for you in store, you've got your exploit, you've got your network, your managers, and this is where you've been able to sort of find your position in the marketplace.
Yeah, definitely.
So going on to that, how did you actually start to build your network?
Yeah, like I said, it was just showing that face, and like, just as well as that, what helps is like dressing very nice. It's like it's so like subtle, like such a subtle thing. But like, if you dress nice, people come up to you, and managers like, oh, can you source me this, that, like, and you'd be able to like having that pre-network before to be able to source shoes.
So you're doing them a favor before you're asking anything.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's and again, like, this goes to like, this is the bigger picture stuff where reselling or not reselling, anywhere in life, like, I feel like if you help someone out, at some point you're going to be able to lean on them.
Definitely,
like that, and that's what's important. And it's quite funny, the fact that you've got managers asking you to help them. But then that comes back and helps you make a business, essentially.
Definitely. Like, I literally was just texting one earlier, and I'll probably get a screenshot of now. He wanted a what was it? What just dropped today? The Yeezy 350s. What was it? I'm not too sure. The blue tint 350s. They dropped earlier today, and then he was like, "Oh, Saint, I need this pair, 8.5. I'm not paying above retail." But it's quite easy to get these type of pairs. Like, they're literally sitting here and there. But like, will we do the favor, and like the favor gets paid back?
Yeah.
As well as that, like, what I've been focused on this year is like expanding my network like crazy. Not just shoes. I want everything. I want it all. Like, so what I've sacrificed is like, I've sacrificed revenue. Like, last year I've probably made enough to like do this, but I've sacrificed my revenue, as in like doing a lot of favors. Like, I've done a lot of favors this year. I'm like, I've even done favors where I've had to pay over the top to do that.
And I've done the same way. Like, I take a bit of a hit, but for the network you build, then
it's a bigger picture.
How do you put a price on that? You can't. So,
you can't,
because you don't. You don't know when that's going to come back. And like, for you, that's the perfect example.
Definitely. Like, for infrareds, like, I can literally just, for infrareds that are dropping tomorrow, I don't know when this is going to go out, but they're dropping tomorrow. I'm going to try and get a success pic, like, posted on this video, like, how many I get. But like, there's 30 pairs there can be 30 pairs in store. They only serve 5, and there's a reason for only 5 being served, and that's the network. I can get 10 pairs out of store, 15. Obviously reasonable amounts, but like, it's just that network. Like this.
So, on that, are you into like the backdooring side of stuff?
I don't know. I wouldn't call it backdooring. Like, that's too much. But like, when it comes to like, I do have to pay like a bit over the top, bearing in mind, like, I'm not getting these stuff for retail. I'm paying like for infrareds, I think he told me 190 per pair, and I'll get like quite a few. So is that backdooring? Do you think? I don't know.
I think if it's not available to the public, and the likes of like me, your general, anyone in the general public cannot walk in and buy that. In a way, it's probably backdooring, isn't it? The people have got favourites. Like that's what it is. Like whether you're an employee backdooring or it's being allocated to you beforehand. In a way, it's probably backdooring.
Yeah, I'm gonna snake this store now. I'm gonna snake this store because Birmingham New Street, it's the worst, isn't it? Like, obviously, I've had my fun with them. Like, when our relationship used to be good, like, I used to get disgusting pandas out of there. Like, I don't even want to explain it. I used to get so many shoes out of there, but now they've got greedy, like, and that's the problem, like, with these like stores. They just get greedy, like. They know, like, they've realised, Saint's making this amount of money on shoes, like, so let's bump it up for him. Let's, like, charge him more. Yeah. And they get so greedy. Like, right now, they have, what I've been told is they have 36 pairs of infrared 4s. I don't even think any will be served. Like, and they can do that because they can, like, have staff reserve everything. It's disgusting. Like, it's the worst one is like, can I just say this worst store is probably like I'm paying like every store now for like, the worst store.
The inside that this guy's got, he can expose everyone.
Yeah, I'm exposing everyone. Like Merry Hill in Briley Hill is like just off the coast of like Birmingham. Yeah. They have every single staff member is a reseller there. It's disgusting. Like, I mean, obviously fair play, you're trying to make you money, but like if you have 50 pairs of shoes and only 5 are getting served, come on, that's out of order. Like,
and but this is like, again, people in general probably don't think about this.
They don't know this.
This happens, like everyone's got side hustle. You're thinking like, you look at an employee in a store, you walk into Size, Foot Locker, wherever, JD, and you think, right, they're just getting their hourly rate.
Yeah.
No. There's more to this.
Yeah,
like, there's more to this, and like, this is why, like, this is brilliant. Like you being able to share this insight, like, because I'm gonna bet the majority of people watching don't even have a clue.
They don't know this. Like, they don't know how bad it gets. Like, and it's sad, really. Like, I don't know. Like, when you see the stat compared to what gets served, it's out of order. Like, because obviously I own a cook group, a very limited cook group, and what we do is that I utilize my network to like put out information about stores, stock numbers, and then I'll put out information like stock numbers of a store. This store has 30 pairs of this shoe, and then like I'll have members, 4 or 5 members go to the store. Saying this store didn't serve. They said they didn't have any, but I know for a fact they had that amount of shoes, and it's like, come on, like. I guess staff have to make their money as well, but like sometimes it's out of order. Like, you can't be doing that. It's definitely out of order. And it's very sad to see. Like, it's disgusting. Like, if you knew what I knew about like what stores do behind the back, it's very disgusting. And like, obviously, I'm privileged enough to have friends in different stores. I have friends like. I have friends even like, can I say this? All right, I'll say this. Basically, that Merry Hill store was on about. So what happened was Cool Grey's dropped. Yeah. And this was like, they dropped like October, November last year. And obviously it was only a few stores, because like the shipment was late. Only a few stores got it, and the stock was huge. 1 million pairs made, the stock was mad. But they still managed to sell for like 30, 40 quid on top. The GS was doing numbers, like everything was crazy. They finally released in February at JD's, and Merry Hill, what did they have? They had 60 pairs in total, 40 men and 20 GS. And obviously staff didn't know about this. Yeah. And like, I have the manager FaceTiming me, like going through all the crates and stuff. This is what I received there. And like on release day, they served like 4 men's pairs and 6 GS pairs. Like it was bad. And this is what happens. Like, and I'm gonna say this because these stores, they need to get done. Something needs to happen. The chain needs to be done. But the amount of power like some of these stores have on like pairs is making it really difficult.
Do you think that like this is maybe a larger issue where like, I've had it before at Offspring in Manchester, where people have accused, like, so a manager refused to sell me because he was like, I literally, this is the first, it was one of the first times I actually went when I probably started reselling.
Yeah.
I had Yeezy on my feet, and he said, you're not buying this trainer, you're a reseller. Literally just labelled me. And I was just like, what is going on? But people like that, they're also doing something on the side, which is, it sort of contradicts what, like, should a sneaker, like, employ, like, a staff member at, like, one of these places, should they be a sneaker enthusiast? Like, where does the boundary lie? Because these guys, like, I feel like, if you work in a place like that, you've got to appreciate trainers to an extent. But then, and like, you're like, I want to give it to the people, but then they're also restricting it and making their own money. And for me, that's like, it comes down to everyone's got a price.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and this is where, like, a lot of people have no idea, and you can share the insight to, like, expose that in a sense.
I don't know if you heard about it, but like, when Mocha Jordan 1 highs dropped, 100 pairs in total, not on release, went to Foot Locker Birmingham, and these were the times when, like, backdooring was at its the highest, like, pairs, like, stores would get 100 and serve 5. It was disgusting. Yeah. And 100 pairs of Mochas went to Birmingham's Foot Locker, and the manager at the time only served, like, 80 pairs. No, sorry, he only served 20 pairs, 20 pairs. He kept 80 to himself, like, and he pushed all of them to Kick Game. It was like a whole conspiracy, like, it was really bad, like, for Foot Locker. They had to sack him straight away. Yeah. He pushed all of them to, like, Kick Game and sold, like, so many. Like, he was just, like, it was so bad. Like, him and, like, Rob, I think they'd done a massive deal. Yeah. Like, 80 pairs of like, come on.
Yeah, that release was, the demand was insane.
The demand was crazy. But, like, that release was crazy. Jordan 1 releases, in general, like, Hyper Reals, the UNCs, they're all, like, crazy.
Yeah. So, just on this, like, I think, especially for our audience, like, Aftermarket, not everyone's, like, into sneaker reselling. And we're, like, sneakers that I think they're doing okay right now. Yeah. We're doing all right. We've gone through peaks, troughs. Right now, you should be capitalizing on it. Yeah. The opportunities are right there. But where do you see, like, the sneaker market going? Like, do you see like this sort of being able to monetize this in terms of reselling? Do you see it dying off anytime soon or calming down?
I think the market's really funny at the moment. Like, I think you were speaking about it earlier, behind the camera, like, about recession and like the effects that I have to the market. And I think recession will be, like, crazy good for the market. Like, there needs to be more demand. Like, a lot of the supply is crazy. What are they trying to do to the market? It comes down to Nike as well. Like, obviously they own most of the part of the market. Like, most of the resellable shoes are from Nike. And what they're doing to the market, I think they're doing it intentionally. Like, I don't know if you know about, like, the Pandas stock, what they're doing with the Pandas. They're pushing out, like, thousands every month, like, trying to kill the market. But I don't know. I don't think the resale market for shoes can ever die. Yeah. I just don't. Just always going to be demand, and there's always going to be a lack of supply. Because of us.
Literally.
Because of us. Yeah.
I don't think it's been a problem. And on that note as well, like, this is probably, like, a little interesting insight. So when I was in One Stop Corp, our developer there, he was an Italian guy, insanely well connected, and he had a guy in Adidas, Italy, developer for the splash page. And I don't know this, but I presume this is how he got his bypasses.
Oh, I heard about that, actually. I heard about something like that.
Yeah. So he informed like this developer that if Adidas wanted to put a stop to this, it could be done very, very easily. However, they want people buying it. Yeah. They want people securing bulk amount. They want the hype. Yeah. They want that inflated resale price because it adds to their brand. Yeah. It's a highly demanded product. It's like going into, like, if you, any sort of, like, normal pair of trainers that you see, like, in Offspring or whatever, you don't care about it. But it's everyone wants that thing they can't have. Yeah. So, like, Adidas and Nike, like, I genuinely believe, like, it's like artificial inflation of the product. Like, they want this around the product, and they'll manipulate the market and release products in certain ways to influence that.
Yeah, going back to buying as well, like, it's like, I think everyone knows this, that confirmed that, like, the raffle system for Adidas, they have, like, it's a dynamic filter they have. So, like, the more hype drops, like Slide, you notice that it's harder to get those with the same accounts, like, as you use for, like, all the, like, horrible colorways of 350. They know what shoes gonna do. Like, they look at StockX, they know pre-market, they know post-market, they know, like current market. They know everything. So if it's a shoe that's dyed pre-market, they will like lower down the filters or lower down the guard, so it's easy for people to get. Like they know what they're doing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like doing first come first serve or call and collect. Why? Do you know what I mean? For like these blue tints as well. Normally you do call and collect for them, but they knew like the demand on these is not too great, so they just do first come. They know what they're doing to the market.
It's at the end of the day, it's just cash printer, isn't it?
It's cash flow. Yeah.
And like they know like any sort of Yeezy. Like, well, it used to be like they could pretty much like when we were like reselling, like it was like any Yeezy, because it was a Yeezy, it would sell out regardless of colour. Semi-frozen yellows were the most disgusting pair of trainers I've seen. But because like I think Adidas Europe stock was like, it was in 3 digits. It was so low, but the price was so high because no one could get it and everyone wanted that thing. Like, and it's like Adidas, like they can release like essentially a trainer that's absolutely disgusting. Like that, like no one like in their right mind. Well, I don't know anyone that would casually wear them, but they know that at the end of the day, they can profit from it. They can make a ton of money from doing so, and it's like, why not? For them, it's like an instant sellout. Anything Kanye like branded,
easy,
done.
The easy brand, just stamp it on something, and that's selling.
Yeah,
like,
it's done. And on that, have you actually seen? So have you seen the new Adidas slides that have dropped? Have you seen that Kanye like crying a little bit about that?
What is the one? Is that the one with the sock in? Like,
no. So they've released slides. Is it
the Lego.
Yeah, they look weird.
Yeah, they're weird looking ones. Yeah.
So Kanye's like been saying that he's like hinted that he's going to leave Adidas because he's saying it's a rob off of the slides and stuff like that. But I think I think that's like bad from Adidas, like because a lot of the models that Kanye's worked with and produced. Like they've produced a lot of similar stuff, and like just because like so like for us like the Adilets, we posted them, like we weren't too sure how to do, but Adidas, no risk. Is it like 180-day return policy? Yeah, whatever it is. Like there's zero risk to this. I think it was like the retail was really low, but you're now making like 20-30 quid a pair. So it's like, but it's not because it's a good thing. It's just living off Kanye's hype, and that's what it is. It's like for anyone who can't have a Yeezy slide, this is the next best alternative.
Yeah, it's like $49.99 retail. It's like they're snubbed like they snubbed Yeezy slides a bit, like making it like 10 quid cheaper. Like they know what they're doing, and like they have Kanye there for a reason. Like he's meant to like he's not gonna be there forever. They know that, like, so they're gonna like ride that wave until finally the wave just dies out and like ride the name.
On that. So you mentioned before the podcast that you've got a collection.
Yes.
Have you? So I want to go into your collection, what you've got, but I want to also talk. Like, have you ever like, obviously like the Nike Air Yeezy?
Yeah.
Before you got into the game, is something like that like because you like is your passion that rooted in sneakers that you'd consider buying something like the Red Octobers, or for you is it what's trending now?
More like the old school stuff. For me, like. I just like what they're doing now. It's like not too far back. Don't get me wrong. I love SBs. Like and the SBs they're pushing out now, they're terrible. Yeah. But like I'm more like I wouldn't go that far back as like Nike Air Yeezys. Nah, I'm not even a fan of them. Genuinely,
I think they appeal more to the US market.
Yeah. And like the OG but genuinely, I don't think like I normally get slated on this, but like genuinely, does anyone think it's that much of a gas shoe? Like, do you know what I mean? But like, I'm obviously speaking as like basically a child to this whole thing. Like, I'm quite young, so I'm not too knowledgeable about like the history and stuff. But like, I'm more tuned towards like I'm like a Sean Cliver. Yeah. More of like the Travises. I know it's like, oh my God, hype beast.
We had a pair of the Sean Clivers we got them. I borrowed them off a friend for the BBC interview. Like in person, bro, they're so
it's such a nice shoe. Yeah,
so nice.
Honestly, it's such a nice shoe.
Have you got personals?
I don't yet. Yes. Yeah, we were just talking about it. I'm gonna get some. Like, obviously, I don't really have too much personal outgoings, which is obviously a good part of like doing what we do. Like trying to like relay your money, loop it back, and not spending too much. Obviously enjoying yourself, but like you're not spending mad amounts of money on yourself. You're reinvesting your money. But that's one of like my main outgoings is my collection. And
so I want to touch. We'll move to this in a minute.
Yeah.
Because I want to touch on your business and talking about reinvesting and how have you scaled the business. However, while we're on the top of collection, tell me your favourite piece. What have you, and also, if you're comfortable saying, what's your collection worth? Like, where you at?
I don't know, because my collection's in my house. But, my favourite piece.
On an actual note, we can chop that out and you can just say
Nah. I'll say it. My collection, favourite piece has to be, it has to be the Aim of Meneers, man. Just like my favourite piece, the box, the everything. Obviously Jordan 1s are my favourite Jordan besides Jordan. Actually, Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s, same level, but collection is worth, doing the math is probably like, we're looking at like, 30k, there it is,
That's
30k. At 18 is not bad, but
but that's not just across sneakers, is it? You've
got clothing, Burberry, Supreme.
And this is the thing, like, it's like a culture, isn't it? Like, it's not like, I feel like anyone that gets into the sneaker game, you then also get into clothing. Like, you get warped and like wrapped up into this lifestyle, and like it is a culture. Like, you buy into it. Let's while we're on the topic of that and clothing, let's talk about Supreme.
Oh, are we going to the in-store story? Yes, we are. So it's a sunny day. I don't know what day it was. I think it was a Thursday. Yeah, Supreme Thursday. And obviously I think everyone knows about the Burberry X Supreme drop. Like, you have to sign up, and signing up for this drop was like a myth. Like, the site kept crashing.
Are you doing it manually or over bot?
Manually.
So manual is still possible.
Yeah, it's still definitely possible. But I did get lucky because how it was like it kept going online and crashing and crashing and crashing. Like, there was millions of people on the site. It was crazy. So I've managed to get a submission in for the registration, and then I get the next day. I get, I think Wednesday, I get a text message saying, I've got a slot. And it's like, I think 10 of us, I got the slot, and I was like, just come anyway, you have to go. So only 6 of us in total went, with one booking or whatever, And that's just that's just mad. Like, going to a Supreme Burberry drop with just one thing, with one message, one booking, and having like 6 people. I had to promise these guys that I was gonna cop. Like, I'm covering like the transport if we don't cop and whatever, and food and whatever. So we've gone, and then the first Peter Street now, it's a myth. Like, do you know what I mean? Supreme Burberry, before we even got there was like 2 fights. It's crazy. Like, everyone knows.
The security on that street is wild.
It's wild.
It's insane.
They probably spend most of their money goes to security. Definitely, they have mad security, but it still happens. Like, there's police there as well. But it's such a dodgy street. Like, it's so dodgy. So
it's not a nice area to be around.
It's not. It's definitely not.
I remember, like, as well, like the first time I went, like, I was saying this earlier, like, I was genuinely scared.
Yeah.
Like, I bought my boat and I got hounded. Like, people like everyone was coming to saying, how much,
Yeah, how much, bro? Yeah.
It's intimidating. Like,
people, really is.
People there, bro, they don't give a fuck. There's no filter.
Yeah, definitely. It's very raw. It's quite scary, actually. But like, moving on, so we've got there, like, it's like 50 odd people ahead of us in schedule. Yeah. So like, security's come, like, put us in our positions in the line, and I'm with like my boys, and I'm with my first boy actually, and what we've done is that, so I've put my glasses on. I've put my glasses and the Balenciagas, the thin like glasses on. And what we've done is that I've put my hands around between his, like, and then we've walked, like, pretending I'm like blind or whatever. So everyone knows, innit? Like, they're not just like normal people are stupid. They know we're trying to finesse. So what I've done is that I've pretended to be blind. I've pretended my boy's like my carer. And we've gone up to the security, and we were like, and the guy was like, I was tapping, I was like, yeah, this is his ID, I'm his hero, I have to walk him in and stuff. So I don't know how it's worked yet. The security has let us in, and we've dropped the axe straight. Like, how it is like on Supreme, it's like a straight flat, then you go downstairs. But like, when you start walking down the stairs, like, this, like, it's harder to see, like, from like the top. So we've dropped the act on the staircase, and we've gone down, we've requested, we'll have the BOGOs, all the BOGOs, the decks, the stickers. We've walked upstairs, done the act again, pretend I was blind. They even chucked us an extra sticker, like, bearing in mind his sticker's like 20 quid each. He's thrown us an extra sticker. all of us has copped. And then we've walked out the store, everyone's recording us, they're laughing, they knew we finessed
everyone
it.
knows again, yeah.
They knew we finessed the hell out of there.
We've done the same, like, when I was saying about like size earlier, like, we go up to like Primark, some up the road, buy different t-shirts, like an outfit, and then just go straight back in.
That's classic. The outfit changes are classic. The classics. The outfit changes are classic. So then we got done there. So then we went to DSM. Now DSM was chaos. None of us had like Texas to even go in the building for like Supreme. So DSM had to be like an organic finesse. It couldn't be off anything else. So what I've done is that in DSM, there's like separate floors. There's like bottom floor, I think it's like CDG, like Supreme, Balenciaga. I don't know how it works, but like there's different floors. So what you do, you go to the door, you can tell him, there's like a massive line, bearing in mind like 50 people for appointments. And you tell him, yeah, we're going in for general shopping. So I've gone in, scoured it out a bit. And then like for some reason, like I think because it was school, like not everyone like come to the appointments. So it wasn't sold out on like, on that. So 4 p.m.'s hit, and like no exaggeration, like 200 people outside pushing, fighting, everything, and they've managed to just like somehow do one at a time, and you have to be escorted upstairs with security to do first come first serve for Supreme Burbs, and then I've managed to sneak in. I told the security, I'm doing general shopping. I'm only going to Balenciaga. So I've gone up, I've waited, I've seen the security walk up with someone, and as he's walking down, I've snuck behind him and gone up to Supreme as well. I've gone up to the cashier, around the corner actually, you have to like pick out what you want and go around the back of the corner. So I've gone up there and I was like, hi, excuse me, the security's asked me to come upstairs because I'm blind, and he said it would be too much chaos, it wouldn't be safe for me. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Do you want this large white Supreme Burberry BOGO? I was like, it's not really my size, but go. And then he's offered me that. Then I've taken a hoodie as well. Then I've gone to the till. Then I've paid out, I've cashed out, I've paid for the Supreme and Burberry. And he's given me some like bunch of stickers, like old collection, this new collection, bunch of stickers. Yeah. And then we've done the same with our mates, and we've finessed it so bad. Bearing in mind, one confirmation email, like who even does that? Who goes to London, like trying to do first come first serve for Supreme Burberry? It's not so that's big of a drop. It's a huge drop. Like it was a huge drop, and like all 6 of us probably went home with like 10 grand. Just 10 grand in like just pure revenue. It's crazy.
On like the revenue, Supreme. On that point, so like building your business, like what sort of figures have you achieved doing what you're doing?
You have to give me a time frame. Like last year, last year, revenue is crazy. Last year was a movie. I'm so like grateful of all the stuff that came to me last year. So many opportunities, last year was definitely the best year of my life. Like opportunity wise, probably revenue was around like, I'd honestly say like mid 6 figures, close to like mid early 6 figures. Yeah.
So, and touch on that, those like you saying you're very grateful. Yeah. Are they all from the sneaker game, reselling? Is it all from that side, or have you built anything outside of that?
As of last year, yeah, because like, I was such a hustler last year. I just saw money. I was running towards it. Like I was grafting like crazy last year, and it was just shoes I knew about. Only at the end of last year, I was introduced into like, shout out to my uncle, he introduced me into like watches, and I actually jumped on the Rolex waiting list for some oysters, some Oyster Tiffany's, some like perpetuals, like stuff like that from watches. And like he actually showed me the bigger picture. It's not just shoes that sell, like everything sells.
And that's like the piece that I've got now. I paid 32 for it. Like a year ago, and like right now, like it's peak secondhand, like probably gonna got 70 for it. Right now, it's in about 60.
That's crazy.
But at the end of the day, like it's like you're being paid to have a watch on your wrist. Like you've made like a yearly salary. Like the way I look at it is like in my old job, like I was probably getting half of like what this is appreciated by, and it's like everybody should like broaden the horizons and actually think about like there's so many ways to make money right now.
So many.
Yeah, like that. Yes, it's a big initial investment, but doesn't mean you don't need to start like that. You can start with trainers, like we have.
How I started,
Yeah. And you start with trainers, like I said earlier. My first pair, I had to get the money from my mum to get it going, and then it's led to this. This is where like if you reinvest, you hustle.
Yeah.
This is like what you can build, and that's where like I want to push people and inspire people, and like sort of anyone who's watching this, like I want them to realize like there's no like I won't say it's like there's no right time to start.
Yeah.
It's any time, innit? Like, you can be any age. Like there's like people at Aftermarket that are like 40 odd years old. They've come in and then they've loved it. They fell in love with the hustle and then they quit the full-time job and then they do this full-time now. It's like there's no right time to start. It's just taking the jump. And I think in your case, like you've got an interesting standpoint of that you're still at uni. You're doing a very, very, very like technical degree.
Yeah, heavy course.
And yeah, of course. And I think the fact that you can do both, it should show to students that you don't just have to be a million miles an hour in your degree.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of my degree, like I got hyper focused. I was like, I want a first and a first only. So I stopped reselling in my final year. I was like, I don't do anything. But looking back, I probably should have carried on. And I wish I would have, because you're the case study to prove that it works. Like what you've, and especially with you, like you're out on the ground. Like I was always online. You're actually having to get out there, show your face, and you can still do that at the same time as maintaining a degree.
Definitely.
Like for students, like I think like we spoke about this earlier, like behind the scenes, like, and we said like, for me, like I believe this is the ultimate hustle for a student. Like you don't have to work a job in a bar where you're gonna get mithered by people who are drunk. You don't really want to entertain.
Yeah, for $5.
Yeah, exactly. And you can do it all from your bedroom. And like, I think from seeing what you've done, have a lot of people like, are you living at uni? Like, are you?
No, I actually still live at home. Like, which saves a lot of cost. Like, I don't have to pay like accommodation or like.
Have you had a lot of people though, like in your cohort, like sort of try and replicate what you do, or try and just get involved?
Yeah, definitely. Like friends, getting involved, but like they're almost like they're not serious. Like you need to be like serious about it. You just can't be like, oh yeah, one day I'll come in store like. And I'm just saying this, like in stores, it doesn't have to be where you start. You can do what you did, start online, like, but like you have to like have some like motivation, put like some effort into it.
So on that, would you say that your like enthusiasm for this lies within sneakers, or are you money motivated?
No, definitely. And like, obviously the famous quote is fell in love for sneakers, stayed for the money, whatnot. But like, I don't know. The money helps. It helps. It helps. It definitely helps. But I love the community. The community is a big part of it as well. Like just the people you meet, like some like crazy people you meet, man. Like even you, like I could just imagine like people you've met.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're just talking off the camera. Like our mates have met like some crazy people,
exactly.
like millionaires. Like it's just quite fascinating the things you learn off them. Even just being like around them, like you learn quite a lot.
And that's the thing. It's probably like whatever you're interested in. Like encourage people to get involved, because you don't know, like there's going to be a millionaire or billionaire has a passion that you're probably interested in, and then you can make a network with them. You can then, and you don't know where that's going to go. It might end up in an internship, a job if you're a student, whatever. But like it's like important to actually, like for me, it's just be proactive in whatever you're doing. Because like you show it that you've been able to build this ridiculous network, and it's enabled you to sort of change your life, but then also enable from you, it then feeds into other people changing life.
I'm showing other people, like, obviously I own a cook group, just very small cook group, and I'm like, a lot of people in the chat, they'll be like, oh, Saint, can you come to my local store and help me like plug a back door? I'm like, guys, you need to really like just go out there, learn how to speak to like people, learn how to network.
And this is honestly, this is one of the main things that I've come across from having the group. Is that we get a lot of young people, and honestly, like I love my community so much. I love it, like our members, but we get a lot of young people, like, and because they've not done a job or anything, like I feel like in our industry, because it's behind the screen, a lot of people like lack people skills, and it's like
definitely.
and like so if we can push them to do like what you're doing, like it's life skills at the end of the day.
It definitely is. Yeah,
it's invaluable.
Yeah,
this podcast, absolute banger. This is the best one like we've done today. I've been so happy with it, and like there's so many little golden nuggets throughout. And anyone who's got to the end, I'm very confident we'll find some value in this.
Yeah.
But departing from this podcast until we next do one with you, what's your one piece of advice to anyone, whether it being that they're into reselling or not, and whether they're looking to make the jump and start their own business and pursue their own goals?
I'd say working your network. It's all about networking, going out there, speaking to people, having human skills, people skills. People that are younger than you, older than you, same age as you. You get a lot of advice from these people.
Yep.
And expanding on that, like learning, educating yourself from like, use these people to your advantage, cook groups, learn, ask questions, ask a lot of questions, be annoying. You're paying monthly.
Of course. You're paying to be there.
You're paying to be there. Ask a lot of, obviously reasonable questions, but you know what I mean? Ask a lot of questions towards different things, not just about shoes, because there's loads of money to make.
Yeah.
There's loads of ways to make money in the industry we're in.
But I feel like shoes. On that point, like anyone who's got initiative and a bit of like self-starter would, to an extent, go and do the Google search.
Yeah.
Like for me, a big thing is if you can Google search it, like then like find the answer. It's quicker. It saves everyone time. However, in our industry especially, and like with the likes of you, there's information that Google can't provide.
Yeah.
And like those questions people should be asking because you're there for a reason and you have to add value or otherwise your business doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's like very, very important to me. So closing it off for you, the big thing is network.
Yeah, definitely network. Getting out there, expanding your network, and opportunities will come left, right, and centre. Definitely.
Perfect. So that was an absolute banger of a podcast. I've said it several times, and throughout this, like I've been so happy. Like I'm really, really looking forward to have Saint on in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to link up soon and 100% reflect back on this in 12 months' time, see where Saint's at, and I want this to be inspiration for anyone that's looking to do their own thing and make that jump. This guy right here, 18 years old, doing so many things, like how can you not be inspired? So leaving it there. Thank you everyone that's tuned in. Definitely. So we're going to round this off with a little discount code. So we'll do discount code Saint, and that will get you 75% off your membership at Aftermarket Arbitrage, which is our reselling platform. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will catch you on the next one.